the pantheon of luxury timepieces, few watches command the reverence, recognition, and cultural significance of the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. Since its audacious debut in 1972, this octagonal marvel has transcended its functional purpose as a timekeeper to become a symbol of horological revolution, design excellence, and cultural status. The Royal Oak story is not merely one of watchmaking innovation, but a narrative that interweaves industrial design philosophy, marketing genius, celebrity endorsement, and the democratization of luxury in the modern era. The watch emerged at a pivotal moment in horological history, when the Swiss watch industry faced an existential crisis from the rise of quartz technology. What seemed like an act of desperation, creating an unprecedented luxury steel sports watch, became a masterstroke that would redefine the entire luxury watch landscape. The Royal Oak's influence extends far beyond the confines of haute horlogerie, permeating fashion, hip-hop culture, professional sports, and contemporary design philosophy. This examination explores how a single timepiece became a cultural phenomenon, analyzing its revolutionary design principles, the historical context of its creation, its evolution over 5 decades, and its profound impact on luxury consumer culture. From its controversial reception in the 1970s to its current status as one of the most coveted and influential watch designs in history, the Royal Oak represents a fascinating case study in how radical design thinking can reshape entire industries and influence broader cultural movements. Historical context and genesis. The quartz crisis. To understand the Royal Oak's revolutionary impact, one must first comprehend the dire circumstances facing the Swiss watch industry in the early 1970s. The quartz crisis, as it came to be known, represented an existential threat to traditional mechanical watchmaking. Japanese manufacturers, led by Seiko and Citizen, had successfully commercialized quartz technology, producing timepieces that were more accurate, reliable, and affordable than their mechanical counterparts. The crisis was not merely technological but philosophical. For centuries, Swiss watchmaking had been built on the premise of mechanical excellence, the intricate dance of gears, springs, and escapements that transformed stored energy into measured time. Quartz technology rendered this mechanical poetry obsolete, replacing hundreds of moving parts with a simple electrocket and a vibrating crystal. By 1970, Swiss watch exports had begun their precipitous decline. Traditional manufacturers found themselves competing not on craftsmanship or heritage, but on price and practicality. A battle they could not win against mass-produced electronic alternatives. The industry faced a stark choice: adapt to the electronic future or find new ways to justify the continued existence of mechanical timepieces. Audemars Piguet's predicament. Audemars Piguet, founded in 1875 in the Vallée de Joux, epitomized the challenges facing traditional Swiss manufacturers. The company had built its reputation on creating some of the world's most sophisticated mechanical timepieces, specializing in minute repeaters, perpetual calendars, and ultra-thin movements. Their clientele consisted primarily of collectors and connoisseurs who appreciated horological complexity and craftsmanship. However, this traditional business model was under siege. The company's formal dress watches, no matter how exquisitely crafted, seemed increasingly anachronistic in an era of casual fashion and electronic precision. Georges Gaulle and his cousin Jacques Louis Audemars, who led the company during this period, recognized that radical action was necessary for survival. The challenge was multifaceted. They needed to create something that would justify premium pricing in an increasingly electronic world, appeal to a younger, more diverse clientele, and distinguish Audemars Piguet from both electronic competitors and traditional Swiss rivals. The solution would need to be simultaneously revolutionary and respectful of the company's horological heritage. The Gérald Genta Commission in 1970, Audemars Piguet made a decision that would forever alter the trajectory of luxury watchmaking. They commissioned Gérald Genta, already renowned for his innovative watch designs, to create something unprecedented: a luxury sports watch in stainless steel that could command prices previously reserved for precious metal timepieces. Gérald Genta was not a conventional choice for such a commission. Born in Geneva in 1931, Genta had initially pursued a career in jewelry design before transitioning to watch design in the 1950s. His approach was fundamentally different from traditional watchmakers. He thought like an industrial designer rather than a horologist, prioritizing visual impact and conceptual boldness over technical conservatism. By 1970, Genta had already created several notable designs, including the iconic Omega constellation and the distinctive universal Geneva polar outer. His design philosophy emphasized strong geometric forms, integrated bracelet designs, and the kind of visual coherence that would later become hallmarks of luxury sports watches. The commission brief was extraordinary for its time: create a steel sports watch that could retail for the same price as a gold dress watch. This concept challenged every assumption about luxury watch positioning, materials hierarchy, and consumer psychology. Steel had always been considered a utilitarian material, suitable for tool watches and everyday timepieces, but inappropriate for luxury positioning. The design revolution. Legend has it that Genta conceived the Royal Oak's basic design in a single evening. inspired by a traditional diving helmet he observed during dinner at a Basel hotel. While this story may be apocryphal, it captures the spontaneous brilliance that characterized Genta's design process. The octagonal bezel with its 8 hexagonal screws directly referenced the portholes of diving helmets, creating an immediate association with underwater exploration and technical precision. However, the true genius of Genta's design lay not in its inspiration but in its execution. The Royal Oak's design language spoke to multiple cultural currents of the early 1970s, the space-age fascination with technological forms, the emerging appreciation for industrial design aesthetics, and the growing casualization of luxury consumption. The integrated bracelet design was particularly revolutionary. Rather than treating the case and bracelet as separate components, Genta created a unified form where the bracelet links flowed seamlessly from the case lugs. This integration created visual continuity that made the watch appear as a single sculptural object rather than an assembly of discrete parts. The tapestry dial pattern, created by a guilloche technique that produced a repetitive geometric texture, added another layer of visual sophistication. This pattern created depth and movement while maintaining legibility, solving one of the fundamental challenges in watch dial design, creating visual interest without compromising function. Design philosophy and innovation. Geometric modernism. The Royal Oak's design philosophy aligned with the broader modernist movement that had been reshaping architecture, furniture, and industrial design since the early 20th century. The octagonal case shape represented a bold departure from the circular forms that had dominated watchmaking since its inception. This geometric assertiveness reflected modernist principles of functional expression and formal innovation. The octagon itself carried rich symbolic associations. In many cultures, the 8-sided form represented renewal, regeneration, and the transition between square earthly and circle heavenly forms. For a watch designed to revitalize a dying industry, these associations were particularly apt. The octagonal bezel also provided practical advantages, offering more surface area for the decorative screws while creating visual interest from multiple viewing angles. Genta's use of exposed screws transformed functional fasteners into decorative elements, embodying the modernist principle that form should follow function. The 8 hexagonal screws served the practical purpose of securing the bezel to the case, but their prominent placement and careful spacing created a rhythmic pattern that became the watch's most recognizable visual signature. Material innovation. The decision to position stainless steel as a luxury material represented a fundamental challenge to traditional watchmaking hierarchies. Historically, material value directly correlated with watch pricing. Gold commanded higher prices than steel, platinum exceeded gold, and precious gem set pieces occupied the apex of luxury positioning. The Royal Oak inverted this logic, arguing that design excellence and manufacturing complexity could justify premium pricing regardless of material intrinsic value. This material philosophy reflected broader cultural shifts occurring in the early 1970s. The counterculture movement had begun questioning traditional status symbols and material hierarchies. Steel, with its industrial associations and functional honesty, aligned with emerging values of authenticity and utility over ostentation. The technical execution of steel finishing was crucial to the Royal Oak's luxury positioning. Audemars Piguet developed specialized polishing and brushing techniques that created complex surface textures, alternating between mirror-polished and satin-brushed areas. This dual-finish approach required extraordinary skill to execute properly, justifying the watch's premium pricing through manufacturing complexity rather than material cost. Integrated design language. The concept of integrated design became central to the Royal Oak's aesthetic philosophy. Unlike traditional watches where cases, dials, hands, and bracelets were designed as separate elements, the Royal Oak presented a unified design language where every component reinforced the overall aesthetic concept. The bracelet links echoed the octagonal case shape while maintaining their own geometric integrity. The dial's tapestry pattern related to the bezel's screw pattern through shared geometric principles. Even the hands, with their distinctive faceted forms, reflected the watch's angular design vocabulary while maintaining optimal legibility. This holistic approach to design would later influence entire categories of luxury products, from automobiles to electronics. The idea that every component should contribute to a unified aesthetic vision became a cornerstone of modern luxury design philosophy. Size and proportion. At 39 mm in diameter, the original Royal Oak was considered a 1972 standards when most dress watches measured between 3.2-3.6 mm. This size choice was deliberate and multifaceted in its implications. Practically, the larger case allowed for better proportional relationships between the octagonal bezel and the circular movement within. More significantly, the oversized case projected confidence and presence, qualities that aligned with the emerging sports watch category. The large size also provided more surface area for showcasing the complex finishing techniques that justified the watch's luxury positioning. Each facet of the octagonal bezel required individual hand polishing, a labor-intensive process that became more impressive as the scale increased. The size choice also reflected changing fashion trends and lifestyle patterns. As dress codes became more casual and wrist sizes appeared to increase with improved nutrition and fitness culture, larger watches began to seem more proportionate and appropriate. Technical innovation in manufacturing excellence movement engineering. The Royal Oak's mechanical foundation was the ultra-thin caliber 2121, based on the legendary Jaeger LeCoeur caliber 920 at just 3.05 mm thick. This movement was among the thinnest automatic calibers ever created, allowing the Royal Oak to maintain elegant proportions despite its large case diameter. The choice of an ultra-thin movement was both practical and philosophical. Practically, the thin profile ensured the completed watch remained comfortable on the wrist despite its generous diameter. Philosophically, the ultra-thin movement represented the pinnacle of mechanical watchmaking miniaturization, directly challenging quartz technology's claims of technical superiority. The movement's construction exemplified Swiss horological excellence. The rotor was crafted from 21-karat gold, adding both functional mass for efficient winding and luxury materials to justify premium pricing. The movement decoration, while not visible through the solid caseback, maintained Audemars Piguet standards for haute horlogerie finishing. Case construction complexity. The Royal Oak's case construction presented unprecedented manufacturing challenges. The integration of the octagonal bezel with the round case middle required precise machining and assembly techniques. Each of the 8 screws had to be perfectly aligned and torqued to exact specifications, creating consistent visual spacing while maintaining water resistance. The alternating polished and brushed surfaces demanded extraordinary skill from case finishers. Each transition between polished and brushed areas had to be perfectly delineated, with no overlap or imperfection visible. This level of finishing could only be achieved through handwork, making each Royal Oak case a demonstration of individual craftsmanship. The integration of the bracelet with the case presented additional complexity. The bracelet links had to be shaped and finished to match the case's surface treatments while maintaining structural integrity and comfortable articulation. The seamless visual flow from case to bracelet required precise engineering and manufacturing tolerances. Dial manufacturing innovation. The Royal Oak's tapisserie dial represented a significant innovation in dial manufacturing techniques. The guilloche pattern was created using specialized machinery that impressed the geometric texture into the dial blank. However, achieving consistent depth and definition across the entire dial surface required extraordinary precision and quality control. The dial's color treatment was equally sophisticated. The original, Blue Nuit, night blue finish was achieved through multiple coating processes that created depth and richness while maintaining the underlying tapisserie texture visibility. This color choice was strategic. Blue conveyed sophistication and uniqueness while remaining versatile enough for various wearing occasions. The applied hour markers presented their own manufacturing challenges. Each marker had to be precisely positioned and secured while maintaining perfect alignment with the dial's geometric pattern. The luminous material application required careful attention to ensure consistent brightness and longevity. Quality control and testing. Audemars Piguet implemented rigorous quality control processes specifically for Royal Oak production. Each watch underwent extensive testing for water resistance, timing accuracy, and cosmetic perfection. The high rejection rate during quality control contributed to the watch's exclusivity and justified its premium pricing. The water resistance testing was particularly crucial given the watch's sports positioning. Despite its luxury status, the Royal Oak had to function as a genuine tool watch capable of withstanding swimming and recreational water activities. Achieving 50 meters of water resistance while maintaining the case's architectural precision required careful engineering and testing. Timing regulation received special attention, with each movement individually adjusted to meet Audemars Piguet's chronometric standards. This individual attention ensured that every Royal Oak would perform as precisely as it appeared sophisticated. Market reception and evolution. Initial market response. The Royal Oak's introduction at the 1972 Basel Fair generated intense controversy within the watch industry. Many traditional retailers and collectors were skeptical of the concept, questioning whether consumers would pay gold watch prices for a steel timepiece. The 300 Swiss franc price tag was shocking. It cost more than most gold watches and significantly more than any steel watch previously offered. Initial sales were slow, with fewer than 1,000 pieces sold in the first year. Retailers were reluctant to stock the watch and consumers were confused by its positioning. The watch industry trade press was largely dismissive, viewing it as an expensive folly that misunderstood market dynamics. However, a small but influential group of early adopters recognized the Royal Oak's revolutionary potential. Design enthusiasts, celebrities, and fashion-forward consumers began embracing the watch as a symbol of contemporary sophistication. This early adoption by tastemakers would prove crucial to the watch's eventual success. Cultural breakthrough. The Royal Oak's cultural breakthrough began in the mid-1970s as broader fashion trends moved toward more casual luxury. The watch aligned perfectly with the emerging casual Friday, business culture, and the growing appreciation for sports and fitness activities among professionals. Celebrity endorsements played a crucial role in the watch's acceptance. When prominent figures from entertainment, sports, and business were photographed wearing Royal Oaks, it validated the watch's luxury credentials and demonstrated its versatility across different contexts. The watch's association with success and achievement became increasingly prominent as the 1970s progressed. The Royal Oak began appearing on the wrists of entrepreneurs, athletes, and entertainment figures, creating aspirational appeal that transcended traditional watch collecting demographics. Technical evolution. As the Royal Oak gained market acceptance, Audemars Piguet began expanding the collection with technical variations. The introduction of complications like date displays, chronographs, and annual calendars demonstrated the platform's versatility and maintained the brand's reputation for horological sophistication. The Royal Oak chronograph, introduced in the 1990s, represented a particular triumph. Combining the iconic design with advanced timing capabilities, it appealed to both sports enthusiasts and watch collectors. The chronograph's integrated pusher design maintained the case's architectural integrity while adding functional complexity. Perpetual calendar versions elevated the Royal Oak into haute horlogerie territory, proving that the sports watch platform could accommodate the most sophisticated complications. These pieces demonstrated that the Royal Oak was not merely a fashion statement, but a serious horological platform. Size and material variations. Over its evolution, the Royal Oak expanded into multiple size categories to accommodate different wrists and preferences. Smaller versions appealed to traditional dress watch sensibilities, while larger variants satisfied the growing appetite for oversized timepieces. The introduction of precious metal versions, gold, platinum, and two-tone configurations expanded the collection's appeal while maintaining the original steel model's iconic status. These variations prove that the Royal Oak's design transcended material considerations, remaining compelling regardless of composition. Limited editions and special variations created exclusivity and collectability, driving enthusiast interest in secondary market values. These special pieces often featured unique dial colors, case treatments, or complications that enhanced the basic platform's appeal. Cultural impact and influence. Hip-hop culture adoption. Perhaps no cultural movement embraced the Royal Oak more enthusiastically than hip-hop. Beginning in the 1980s and accelerating through the 1990s and 2000s, prominent hip-hop artists adopted the Royal Oak as a symbol of success, taste, and authenticity. Unlike traditional luxury watches associated with old money and establishment culture, the Royal Oak represented new money, confidence, and contemporary sophistication. Artists like Jay-Z, who famously referenced his Royal Oak offshore in lyrics, elevated the watch from luxury accessory to cultural symbol. The watch's steel construction aligned with hip-hop's appreciation for industrial aesthetics and authentic materials over ostentatious display. The Royal Oak communicated success without the historical baggage associated with traditional luxury symbols. The hip-hop community's embrace of the Royal Oak was particularly significant because it introduced the watch to a younger, more diverse audience than traditional luxury watch marketing typically reached. This cultural crossover expanded Audemars Piguet's brand recognition far beyond traditional watch enthusiast circles. Professional sports integration. The Royal Oak's association with professional athletes further enhanced its cultural cachet. Unlike fragile dress watches that couldn't withstand active lifestyles, the Royal Oak sports watch credentials made it appropriate for athletes both on and off the field. Basketball, in particular, became closely associated with the Royal Oak. The NBA's relaxed attitude toward jewelry allowed players to wear their watches during games, creating unprecedented exposure for luxury timepieces. The Royal Oak's bold design ensured visibility even from arena upper decks and television broadcasts. Football players, both American and international, also embraced the Royal Oak as a symbol of peak performance and success. The watch's association with athletic excellence created aspirational appeal among sports fans and fitness enthusiasts. Fashion and style influence. The Royal Oak's impact on fashion extended far beyond watchmaking. Its integrated design philosophy influenced jewelry, accessories, and even architectural elements. The concept of geometric forms combined with luxurious materials became a recurring theme in contemporary luxury design. Fashion designers began incorporating Royal Oak-inspired elements into their work. Geometric patterns, integrated construction, and mixed material approaches. The watch's influence could be seen in everything from handbag hardware to shoe design details. The Royal Oak also contributed to the broader casualization of luxury fashion by proving that casual pieces could command premium pricing through design excellence rather than formal positioning. It helped blur traditional boundaries between casual and formal luxury goods. Collector culture development. The Royal Oak played a crucial role in developing modern watch collecting culture. Its combination of iconic design, limited availability, and cultural significance created the template for contemporary luxury watch desirability. The secondary market for vintage and discontinued Royal Oak models demonstrated how modern watches could appreciate and value like traditional collectibles. Watch forums and online communities devoted significant attention to Royal Oak variations, production details, and market trends. This enthusiast culture created feedback loops that influenced both secondary market values and Audemars Piguet's production decisions. The Royal Oak's collectability also influenced other luxury watch brands to consider design iconicity and cultural relevance in their product development. The success of the Royal Oak demonstrated that watches could become cultural artifacts that transcended their functional purpose. Design legacy industry influenced the luxury sports watch category. The Royal Oak's success created an entirely new product category, the luxury sports watch. Before 1972, watches were generally categorized as either dress pieces of formal precious metals, small or tool watches, functional, steel, utilitarian. The Royal Oak proved that a third category could exist. Watches that combined sports watch functionality with luxury positioning and pricing. This category creation had profound implications for the entire watch industry. Suddenly, every major luxury manufacturer needed a luxury sports watch to compete effectively. The success of pieces like the Patek Philippe Nautilus, also designed by Gérald Genta, the Vacheron Constant and overseas, and later pieces like the Richard Mille collections all trace their conceptual lineage to the Royal Oak's pioneering market position. The luxury sports watch category also changed consumer behavior and expectations. Customers began expecting their luxury timepieces to be versatile enough for both boardroom meetings and weekend activities. This demand for versatility influenced everything from case construction to water resistance requirements. Integrated bracelet design philosophy. The Royal Oak's integrated bracelet design became one of the most copied and influential elements in modern watchmaking. The seamless flow from case to bracelet created visual coherence that traditional lug and strap constructions couldn't match. This integration became the hallmark of serious luxury sports watch design. However, achieving convincing integration proved extremely challenging. Many attempts to copy the Royal Oak's integrated design resulted in awkward proportions or compromised comfort. The difficulty of execution meant that successful integrated designs commanded premium positioning, validating the Royal Oak's original pricing strategy. The integrated design philosophy also influenced other luxury product categories. Automotive designers began creating more cohesive interior designs where traditional boundaries between components were eliminated. Furniture and architecture similarly embraced integrated design approaches that prioritized visual continuity over component modularity. Material hierarchy revolution. Perhaps the Royal Oak's most profound industry impact was its revolution of traditional material hierarchies. By proving that steel could command gold prices through design excellence and manufacturing complexity, it fundamentally changed how luxury brands approached material selection and pricing strategies. This material revolution extended far beyond watchmaking. Fashion brands began creating premium pieces in traditionally humble materials, justified by design sophistication and manufacturing quality. The concept that intrinsic material value was less important than design execution became a cornerstone of contemporary luxury philosophy. The steel luxury revolution also aligned with growing environmental consciousness and changing cultural values. Customers increasingly preferred products that communicated sophistication through design rather than material ostentation. The Royal Oak anticipated and helped drive this cultural shift. Manufacturing excellence standards. The Royal Oak's complex finishing requirements established new standards for luxury watch manufacturing. The alternating polished and brushed surfaces, precise assembly tolerances, and integrated construction demanded exceptional skill and quality control. These standards influenced the entire luxury watch industry's approach to manufacturing excellence. Other brands were forced to improve their own finishing capabilities to compete with the Royal Oak's visual sophistication. This manufacturing arms race benefited the entire Swiss watch industry by pushing technical capabilities and quality standards higher across all price segments. The focus on finishing excellence also created new career opportunities within the watch industry. Specialized case finishers, bracelet assemblers, and quality control experts became increasingly important as brands sought to match the Royal Oak's manufacturing standards. The Royal Oak Offshore Revolution. Expanding the design language. In 1993, Audemars Piguet introduced the Royal Oak Offshore, a larger, more aggressive interpretation of Gérald Genta's original design. At 42mm diameter with enhanced water resistance and more pronounced design elements, the Offshore represented both evolution and revolution within the Royal Oak family. The Offshore's design amplified the original's geometric themes while adding contemporary elements like rubber gaskets, larger crown guards, and more substantial pushers on chronograph models. These additions maintain the architectural integrity of Genta's original concept while adapting it for a new generation of customers who preferred larger, More robust timepieces. The introduction of colorful rubber straps and interchangeable strap systems demonstrated how the Royal Oak design could accommodate contemporary fashion trends without compromising its essential character. This adaptability proved crucial to the collection's continued relevance as fashion evolved. Cultural phenomenon status. The Royal Oak offshore achieved even greater cultural penetration than its predecessor, particularly in entertainment and sports communities. Its larger size and more aggressive styling aligned with the bigger is better trends of the 1990s and 2000s, while its technical capabilities satisfied increasingly sophisticated customer demands. Hip-hop artists embraced the offshore with particular enthusiasm, appreciating its bold presence and technical sophistication. Music videos featuring prominent offshore timepieces created massive exposure and aspirational appeal among younger demographics. Professional athletes found the offshore's enhanced durability and water resistance better suited to their active lifestyles. The watch's ability to withstand rigorous physical activity while maintaining luxury appeal made it ideal for athletes who needed accessories that could transition seamlessly from competition to celebration. Technical innovation platform. The offshore became Audemars Piguet's primary platform for technical innovation and complication development. Its larger case provided more space for complex movements, while its sports positioning allowed for functionality that might seem inappropriate in traditional dress watches. Offshore chronographs incorporated sophisticated timing mechanisms with enhanced legibility and usability. The larger case allowed for better proportioned subdials and pushers, improving both aesthetics and functionality. These technical improvements influenced chronograph design across the industry. Limited edition offshore models often featured experimental materials, advanced complications, or collaborative designs that pushed the boundaries of sports watch engineering. These special pieces maintained the collection's reputation for innovation while creating exclusivity and collectability. Market expansion impact. The offshore success demonstrated the Royal Oak design's scalability and adaptability. By proving that the original concept could be successfully modified for different markets and preferences, it validated Audemars Piguet's strategy of building a comprehensive collection around a single iconic design. This success influenced other luxury watch brands to develop more extensive collections around their most successful designs. The concept of design platform expansion became a standard industry practice, with brands creating multiple variations of their most iconic pieces to capture different market segments. The offshore also proved that luxury watch brands could successfully target younger demographics without alienating traditional customers. This demographic expansion strategy became crucial as luxury watch brands sought to maintain relevance in rapidly changing consumer markets. Modern evolution and contemporary relevance. Digital age adaptation. As the luxury watch industry faced new challenges from smartwatches and changing consumer preferences, the Royal Oak's design heritage provided crucial advantages. Unlike purely functional timepieces that could be easily replaced by electronic alternatives, the Royal Oak's status as a design icon and cultural symbol provided protection against technological disruption. The watch's mechanical nature became a selling point rather than a limitation, as consumers increasingly valued handcrafted authenticity in an increasingly digital world. The Royal Oak represented a tangible connection to traditional craftsmanship and human skill that electronic devices couldn't replicate. Audemars Piguet skillfully positioned the Royal Oak as a luxury lifestyle accessory rather than merely a timekeeping tool. This positioning strategy helped insulate the brand from smartwatch competition while maintaining relevance among younger consumers who grew up with digital technology. Sustainability and modern values. Contemporary consumers increasingly consider environmental and social factors in their luxury purchases. The Royal Oak's emphasis on durability, repairability, and timeless design aligned with growing sustainability consciousness among luxury consumers. The watch's steel construction, while originally chosen for design reasons, proved advantageous from an environmental perspective. Steel's recyclability and the watch's repairable construction made it more sustainable than disposable electronic alternatives or resource-intensive precious metal alternatives. Audemars Piguet's emphasis on traditional manufacturing techniques and local craftsmanship also aligned with growing appreciation for artisanal production methods and supply chain transparency. The Royal Oak's Swiss manufacturing heritage provided authenticity that mass-produced alternatives couldn't match. Global market expansion. The Royal Oak's design universality has enabled successful expansion into global markets with varying cultural preferences and aesthetic traditions. Unlike culturally specific luxury symbols, the Royal Oak's geometric modernism translates effectively across different cultural contexts. Asian markets in particular have embraced the Royal Oak enthusiastically. The watch's combination of technical sophistication, cultural relevance, and design excellence appeals to consumers in markets where craftsmanship and innovation are highly valued. The Royal Oak's success in diverse global markets has influenced luxury brand expansion strategies across multiple categories. The watch demonstrated how design excellence and cultural authenticity could create global appeal without requiring cultural adaptation or compromise. Innovation integration. Modern Royal Oak models integrate contemporary innovations while maintaining design continuity with the original 1972 piece. Advanced materials like ceramic, carbon fiber, and modern alloys expand the collection's technical capabilities while respecting the original design language. Movement innovations, including silicon components and advanced manufacturing techniques, improve reliability and performance while maintaining the collection's mechanical authenticity. These improvements demonstrate how traditional luxury products can incorporate modern technology without compromising their essential character. The integration of modern innovations within the classic design framework has become a template for luxury brand evolution. By respecting design heritage while embracing technical progress, the Royal Oak shows how iconic products can remain relevant across multiple generations. Economic impact and market dynamics. Secondary market development. The Royal Oak has played a crucial role in developing the modern luxury watch secondary market. Its combination of limited production, cultural desirability, and design iconicity created the conditions for significant appreciation in resale values. Vintage Royal Oak models, particularly early examples and limited editions, often trade for multiples of their original retail prices. This secondary market strength has influenced both collector behavior and brand strategy. Collectors increasingly view Royal Oak purchases as investments rather than merely consumption, while Audemars Piguet has learned to manage production levels to maintain exclusivity and secondary market performance. The development of online marketplaces and authentication services has made Royal Oak trading more accessible and transparent. Platforms dedicated to luxury watch trading often feature Royal Oak models prominently, demonstrating the watch's liquidity and market appeal. Brand value creation. The Royal Oak's success has been instrumental in establishing Audemars Piguet as one of the world's most valuable luxury watch brands. The watch's cultural significance and market performance have elevated the brand's overall prestige and pricing power across all product categories. This brand elevation demonstrates how a single iconic product can transform an entire company's market position. The Royal Oak's success provided Audemars Piguet with the financial resources and brand credibility necessary to compete with larger, more established luxury conglomerates. The brand value creation extends beyond financial metrics to include cultural influence and industry leadership. Audemars Piguet's association with the Royal Oak has made it a reference point for design excellence and innovation throughout the luxury industry. Manufacturing economics. The Royal Oak's complex manufacturing requirements have influenced Audemars Piguet's operational structure and investment priorities. The watch's sophisticated finishing demands require significant capital investment in specialized equipment and highly skilled craftspeople. These manufacturing requirements create natural production constraints that support the watch's exclusivity positioning. Unlike mass-produced alternatives, Royal Oak production cannot be easily scaled without compromising quality, maintaining the watch's luxury credentials through scarcity. The economics of Royal Oak manufacturing have also influenced supplier relationships and vertical integration strategies. Audemars Piguet has invested heavily in controlling key manufacturing processes to ensure quality, consistency, and production security. Market influence metrics. The Royal Oak's market influence extends far beyond its direct sales impact. Industry analysts often use Royal Oak's secondary market performance as a barometer for overall luxury watch market health. Strong Royal Oak performance typically indicates robust luxury consumption patterns, while weakness may signal broader market challenges. Auction results for rare Royal Oak models frequently set records and generate significant media attention, creating marketing value that extends far beyond the individual transaction. These high-profile sales reinforce the watch's status as a luxury icon and investment-grade collectible. The Royal Oak's influence on competitor strategies can be measured through the proliferation of luxury sports watches following its success. Virtually every major luxury watch brand now offers pieces that reference Royal Oak design elements or market positioning strategies. Future prospects and continuing legacy design timelessness assessment. After more than 5 decades, the Royal Oak's design shows remarkable resistance to obsolescence. Its geometric modernism remains contemporary, and its integrated construction philosophy continues to influence new luxury product development. This design longevity suggests the Royal Oak will maintain relevance for future generations. The watch's ability to accommodate technical innovations while preserving design integrity provides confidence in its continued evolution. Unlike fashion-driven designs that quickly become dated, the Royal Oak's architectural approach creates timeless appeal that transcends temporary trends. Contemporary design analysis suggests the Royal Oak successfully achieved the modernist goal of creating functional beauty that remains relevant across changing cultural contexts. This achievement positions it as a permanent contribution to design history rather than a temporary fashion statement. Cultural relevance evolution. The Royal Oak's cultural significance continues evolving as new generations discover and reinterpret its meaning. Younger consumers often view it differently than original purchasers, seeing it as vintage cool rather than contemporary innovation. This generational reinterpretation ensures continued cultural relevance. Social media has amplified the Royal Oak's cultural presence with Instagram and other platforms featuring countless images of the watch in various contexts. This digital exposure introduces the design to global audiences and creates new forms of cultural appreciation. The watch's presence in contemporary art, fashion, and design suggests its influence extends beyond traditional luxury consumption into broader cultural expression. Artists and designers continue drawing inspiration from its geometric forms and integrated construction philosophy. Technological integration possibilities. Future Royal Oak development will likely focus on integrating modern technology while preserving mechanical authenticity. Possibilities include advanced material, improved manufacturing techniques, and enhanced durability without compromising the essential design character. The challenge will be incorporating beneficial innovations while avoiding the technology trap that threatens traditional luxury products. The Royal Oak's success demonstrates that mechanical authenticity and craftsmanship tradition provide competitive advantages that electronic alternatives cannot replicate. Smart integration possibilities might include discrete connectivity features that enhance functionality without compromising the watch's fundamental mechanical nature. However, any technological additions must respect the design's architectural integrity and luxury positioning. Market position sustainability. The Royal Oak's market position appears highly sustainable due to its unique combination of design iconicity, manufacturing complexity, and cultural significance. These attributes create barriers to competitive replication that protect long-term market position. However, maintaining this position requires continued innovation and cultural relevance. Audemars Piguet must balance heritage preservation with contemporary adaptation, ensuring the Royal Oak remains compelling for new generations while satisfying existing customers. The brand's commitment to controlled production and quality maintenance suggests understanding of the factors that sustain luxury positioning. By resisting mass-market temptations, Audemars Piguet protects the exclusivity that underlies the Royal Oak's appeal. The Royal Oak's enduring revolution. The Royal Oak's journey from controversial experiment to cultural icon represents one of the most remarkable success stories in modern luxury goods history. Its revolutionary design challenged fundamental assumptions about materials, pricing, and luxury positioning, ultimately reshaping not just the watch industry, but broader luxury consumption patterns. Gérald Genta's inspired design proved that radical innovation could respect tradition while creating entirely new possibilities. The octagonal case, integrated bracelet, and sophisticated finishing established a new template for luxury sports watches that continues influencing product development 50 years after its introduction. The watch's cultural impact extends far beyond its horological significance. Its embrace by hip-hop culture, professional athletes, and fashion leaders demonstrated how luxury products could transcend traditional demographic boundaries and achieve broader cultural relevance. This cultural crossover capability has become essential for contemporary luxury brand success. From a business perspective, the Royal Oak validates the power of design excellence and brand authenticity in creating sustainable competitive advantages. Unlike purely technological innovations that can be easily copied, the Royal Oak's combination of design heritage, manufacturing complexity, and cultural significance creates barriers to replication that have protected Audemars Piguet's market position for decades. The watch's influence on manufacturing standards and finishing techniques elevated the entire Swiss watch industry's quality levels. By proving that customers would pay